Hey everybody, it's Lawrence. So happy to be back in communication. So, before I begin today, I just want to say remember to like this video, share it if it hits home for you, subscribe to my channel, check out what I'm up to because there's some cool stuff coming down the pike and I want you to be part of it. If what I'm talking about speaks to you. If it doesn't, that is totally cool. It is a big world. But if it does, I am so happy to have you on board. So I want to talk to you today about the sweet spot. The sweet spot. The sweet spot. The sweet spot has to do with working in the place that is somewhere between too much and not enough. Let me say that again. The sweet spot is working in the place between too much and not enough. That's the sweet spot. The sweet spot can only be determined by you, whether that's a yoga class, whether that's a mentorship or a coach who's asking you to stretch beyond what you're capable of, whether that is a study, a practice, a martial arts, whatever it is, wherever you are wanting to improve the quality of your life, we are all looking to work in the sweet spot. Here's why. How many times have you done this thing where you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this new diet, this new exercise, this new thing, and you give it all you got and you work hard, and maybe you overdo it because you're just like, oh, I'm gonna push through this. And then what happens is your body or your psychology has a retreat, right? Because that's what happens. You push hard and far and your body's like, whoa, hold on, I have a healing crisis right now. And that healing crisis actually causes you to lose the momentum of what it was you were trying to do in the first place. So the sweet spot is really that spot somewhere between too much and not enough. Not enough means you didn't move yourself forward at all. And too much means you just went too far. Like the hamstrings in the yoga stretch hurt. The other day, one of my yoga teachers, kind of a young kid, doesn't really understand exactly what's up, thinks he's doing me a favor, comes over, and I'm in a forward fold and just puts some pressure on my back, to kind of help me move to the full expression of the posture, because we know that the full expression of the posture that somebody did 2,000 years ago, that's the right way to do it, whatever. And so, so he comes over and he's like adding some pressure, and man, oh man, did it jack my back, right? Not intentional. I get it. Like, I know he's trying to do the right thing and he's got some idea about what I should be able to do because I've been practicing yoga for 20 years. But the sweet spot is for me to determine, whether that's learning a new technique, whether that's learning a new yoga practice, whether that's learning some sort of psychological change that you are trying to make in your life regarding a belief system or a way of being. You have to work in the sweet spot, because the sweet spot is somewhere between too much and not enough. And when you work in that spot, change is much easier. It's more beautiful. It can actually be pleasurable instead of painful. And I'm going off on a tirade right now for just 2 seconds here, so forgive me, but those of you that know me, that's what I do. Here's my tirade. My tirade is that it is not for you to determine, teacher, what is right for me. It's not for you to determine how far my back should bend. It is not for you to determine where my psychology should be based on your experience, because what that doesn't account for is being wrong and incorrect, either in your perception or your belief or your understanding. And if you've lived more than 5 minutes, you know that we get it wrong. That happens. And so you have to account for getting it wrong by recognizing that you may not know everything, which I will guarantee you I do not. This is part of the container of safety that I operate under. It recognizes that I get it wrong and I do not know everything and that I don't understand everything and that this is a big world and an even bigger infinite universe. And I will never pretend to know everything about anything except what I know. And I won't even pretend about that because it is subject to change. I am open to deeper understanding, greater insight. And therefore, I personally am always learning. And so, tirade over. The sweet spot is somewhere between too much and not enough. It is only to be determined by you. When you've had enough, you are entitled to stop. Nobody, no teacher, no abuser has the right to tell you what you are capable of, unless that is exactly what you're paying them for.